something to play with. Clearly, black is planning probably takes, and then bishop b5. This would be the idea to trade the light squared bishops. And I'm expecting a move like queen e2 from Dubov to stop this.
Not like rook c1 or something?
Ah, wow, but he played a4. So he wants to stop this bishop b5 idea at all costs.
Completely,
Wow.
Okay,
Remember
that's a bit
people-
surprising, right?
Yeah, but remember people were playing pretty much the same position with the queen on c2. So the moment you go queen b3 and then the check on a4
Yes.
and they would drop the queen to c2.
But a4 is definitely a bit unusual. I mean, you're weakening this b3 square. But I guess the idea is that on bishop c3, bc, you're going to have like knight e5 at some point.
Yes, and he wants to go for some kingside attack, yeah? Maybe knight e5, bishop g5, eventually some f4, and then create some special against the h7 square. Typical Dubov, yeah? He's playing exchange Slav, but in a Dubovian way, yeah? Something completely different than usual. Okay, but let's continue the tour. What else? How is Katerina Lachno doing against Gong?
So they had an advanced French.
It's a standard position, I would say. I'm not an expert. I haven't been playing the advanced French for, I don't know, 30 years at least. So I'm not.
So they want to do what? Play the knight to f5?
I'm not liking this move, knight c7. Somehow the knight on c6 looked good enough, putting pressure on the d4 pawn. No, why do you
they
move?
want
Knight, yeah, it's
to
the
do what? Play the
G6
knight to
knight, which somewhat
f5?
bothers, yeah.
Yeah, why do you move? I'm not liking this move, knight c7.
So what do
Somehow
we
the
do
knight
here,
on
Peter, for
c6
white?
looked good enough. Well, suddenly
Putting
I
pressure
see
on the
many different
d4
options. No, why do you
Bishop
move?
g5
G5 is
yeah,
one of
it's
the
the-
For her understanding and all the experience. And on the last board,
It's much sharper on the last board.
Oh,
wow.
Zheng has, really pushed those pawns very far. I mean, I don't know if that necessarily gives him any edge, but
It's dangerous.
oh, like if we compare this one to some sort of a King's Indian,
Yes.
say white castled, went knight g3, we might actually have like something where the knight would be. Knight would be on e8 instead of e7, right? And then we would have like Korchnoi variation of a classical King's Indian, which,
it's too late for black to play g5.
yeah.
Getting in g6 is also not so easy.
I'm scared
You're
for
scared
black.
for black, huh?
Yes, scared for black. White's play is very easy. You can close your eyes and you just bring all your pieces to the king side. Yeah, knight g3. The big question will be, do you castle at all? Or maybe you will try to use h4. Also, some typical idea is g5, g6, pawn sacrifice at some point, and then with knight h4, millions of ideas.
Has used up some time and finally decided on his setup. Not sure I love it too much. I mean, I would be feeling pretty comfortable as black.
He played.
Move.
Yeah, he played bishop f4. It exists. Yeah, computer shows this move. It's this mysterious move. D6, queen d2, and h6, e4. Can I shock you with something? That in this position, sometimes they play knight g7, And if you don't know, for example, white plays h4 stopping g5, yeah, because it makes a lot of sense to stop g5, then black has this option of going king f8, king g8, and king h7. I think Grishuk has done this in Istanbul Olympiad against Wang Yue in one of these type of positions. I was so in love with this idea. I always wanted to use it myself. Yeah?
Right, because like white provokes this h6, sort of saying you will not castle now, right? Or if you don't play h6, I will trade the bishops, and black avoids kind of.
Yeah, and let's not forget this bishop f4 queen d2 construction is a little bit strange because normally white also pushes f4. It's not that harmonious, so it really relies on the fact that this h6 pawn is hanging. And Artem is taking his, okay, we might get a match here. This isn't looking so easy.
Okay, also there have been some developments in the game between Dubov and Tin. Some pretty big developments in the pawn structure, actually. So black played b5 immediately. You know, I was thinking about this idea because I thought about taking on c3 and then b5, but he basically went for that in this move order. So takes on b5.
Capture
bishop c3 and bishop takes b5, so getting that bad bishop out of the way. And bishop g5, I mean, I can't really see black having trouble in this position. There seems to be a lot of moves that we can do. Anything starting from, you know, bishop d3, queen d3, knight c4. It's probably the direction I'd look in.
Yeah, it's a natural way, yeah?
Because knight c4, I don't, if you go knight c4 right away, I don't know why you need the bishop on b5, but I guess you can consider that too. Maybe it holds the d7 square in some lines.
Yeah, but it's nice to get rid of this bishop on d3.
But
I think one of the questions is knight e5, and then can we take and h6, g5? Can we, for example, react like this? It's a big question, because otherwise the pin could be annoying. Or is it annoying? It feels annoying. Because the line I mentioned, and I just want to highlight, because there is this typical way of getting out of the pin like this, but after e takes f6, g takes h4, there is queen d4, protecting the f6 pawn, setting up queen g4 check, mating idea. So I'm not in love with this, even though king h7 it still continues. Rook g8, rook g6 could be played, but okay, who wants to play like this or to calculate something like this? So after knight e5, we might have to find another idea.
Basically, you're threatening knight takes c4, but also bishop f6 is not too much of a threat.
Not too much, but you cannot really play knight d6 because then also a6 pawn might be hanging. Yeah, there are some minor issues.
So what? Okay, what other option? Okay, he's choosing to trade the bishops.
Yeah, so we might be seeing this line.
And I think he played queen c7.
Yeah, there was this move,
Yes,
but
queen c7. So
but
he's
now,
getting out of the pin.
for example, bishop takes f6, gf, knight takes c4, and black gets so many. Ah, he did not play knight c4.
Yeah,
okay, pardon me.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
Right away he
Played
played
queen
queen
c7.
c7.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
right. So
Now the knight is free to move.
But okay, this is somehow this knight on a5, maybe bishop f6, gf, e4 or something.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not liking this, and we know exactly Daniil Dubov. He likes this kind of things. Yeah,
Well,
dynamic.
he didn't even think at all about playing e4. Yeah, he just played it so fast.
Yeah, takes e4. The knight on a5 is ugly. Suddenly, white got a serious initiative.
Yeah, and like part of you wants to capture on e4, of course, but then after queen e4, yeah, the king is weak and the knight on a5 is still. It's like, can we get away with like take on e4 and go knight c4? Looks scary, but.
Yeah, but you have to do it, yeah?
Yeah, you kind of have to do it.
Good or bad, you have to do it. So how to create the maximum pressure against black's king? It's not so easy. It's rather
And
solid.
the black pawn wants to go a5, a4, a3.
If you have the time, then of course. Yeah. Where is the big...
Where's the big initiative we were promised, right?
Yes, yes, because it looked promising. I felt like, of course, yeah, white will get this and that, but...
So you go d.
Yeah, maybe I have to play d5, but actually it's not...
Then it's...
I don't believe that it's so much, yeah? It's, okay, d5, maybe I should probably go d5.
The other thing you could do is rook b1, but again, I'm not very...
Yeah, what do I achieve? Yeah, you can also play rook b8.
But then you take...
With which look you wanted to go?
F to B1.
Ah, look, F to B1,
in
yes.
order to
Okay.
kind of...
Yeah, no, look at B1, yeah. Oops.
So, point being, I believe, all feel that this is the moment kind of for white. If there is an advantage, it has to
Yes.
be very dynamic because
Exactly.
black's pawn structure is nice.
Well, it's nice if there is no initiative.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Queen's off the board, black is super happy.
Yes. The monster knight on C4.
I think Andrejkin is getting what he wants.
Like always, yeah?
Well, like most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, I
We have
think-
seen the one exception, yes?
Yes.
Right.
Andrejkin, so let me... Oh, he got E5, E4 in. No, this should have never been allowed. Okay, this is like you win this by hand, yeah? You don't have to do anything because the bishop on D6 covers all the anti-squares on the C file. The attack is coming, knight H7, knight G5 appears on the board, and then with this construction you cannot fight.
This one's terrible, right? And not even F3 is possible because you also...
Yes.
The knight on E1 can't move. The bishop on B2 is bad, and he's like up twice. He has twice the time his opponent has on the clock. So I think that's a very promising board for a team.
Yeah, basically just because that it's so instructive after bishop F8, of course, black is threatening to play E5, E4. White has to push the pawn to E4 and then make sure that black is tied to passivity. Don't let this E5, E4 move happen in such situations, because then all of a sudden the bishop on G3 is blocked, black gets space, and everything makes perfect sense. Knight E1, D5.
Knight E1, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a total catastrophe for white. So Andrejkin, I think, comfortably will win his game. It's not premature to call it. He has a big time advantage, and of course, he's a fantastic player. What else is in store? Jumabayev, the man we felt like maybe he can pose some threat to Maxwell. Looking at the position, looks like a dream Sicilian for black.
Yeah, you're not posing any threats with white here. Basically, black has perfect pieces. There's not even a looming attack on the black king, and the knight on b4 looks amazing. The queen on g3, not so sure what it's doing. I guess it was meant to support some f4 move, but not going to be too dangerous for black.
Oof. Well, that's why I like to go back a little bit so that we understand that how things even deteriorated, because white actually relied on some bishop c4 idea. Look at this. Capture, capture, a4, rook a8, queen g3, e5, white opted bishop c4. So that was his justification for this.
Yeah.
And then it got met by knight b4, rook d2, queen c7. White falls back with the bishop to e2, so it's a total catastrophe.
Bishop
and
e6.
Bishop e6.
Knight
Thank you.
C2, sometimes, yeah, so you'll have to move again.
Thank you very much, yes.
So they're looking good on that board. Okay, some changes in the game between Dubov and Tin. Tin decided to move his knight back to c6 instead of knight c4 like we were looking at. And Dubov quickly played d5, ed, queen d5, knight e5, knight d4. Well, definitely white doesn't feel like they're risking anything, although white has just given up a pawn. Black's king looks so weak. Queen c3 is on the board.
And this f5 square, yeah, we always have knight f5, so queen takes c3 captured.
Queen c3 played.
Wow, good nerves. Very good nerves.
A chance for Dubov to get his first win in this event.
Yes, of course, black is relying on the fact that knight f5 can be met by queen d3. Yeah, immediately going for a queen trade because the queen cannot protect the knight on f5. And also if white plays queen e4, black plays the move queen d3. That's how I understand.
I would say by the body language is saying that Tin feels pretty comfortable after his pawn capture on c3.
But should he really be comfortable? For example, if I just play a move like queen e4, trying to get to, and my idea was queen d3, and I just sidestep queen f4. And I want to get this knight to f5. If the knight lands on f5 and I can keep it, I will be really worried for black.
Yeah, like it's never pleasant for black.
Yes.
You may hold it and...
Also, let's not forget, if you try to use the queen for defense, then rook a3 will come, yeah? It's a very dangerous position.
Okay, so you're suggesting queen e4 for white.
Queen e4, yeah, just to make sure that my queen gets out of these trading options.
And also getting out of rook d8 ideas, yeah.
Yes, I think he will play. His queen was, I mean, his hand was moving towards the queen. I think queen e4 will be on the board pretty soon. Yeah, on the board. That's it. Black will be suffering here.
So what if we go like rook f d8?
Okay, knight f5. I already called it.
Okay, you're not threatening anything too much yet, yeah?
Now you have queen c4. Maybe, in fact, I will play rook a4, just a double oops. Queen e4, rook fd8, and rook a4, double prophylactic.
Wow.
Not allowing any kind
Unusual.
of... Yeah, very unusual. But it's Dubov's game, so...
You're allowed to do it.
Yes. I hope
So
so.
on queen d3, you're just
Queen
going
f4.
queen f4.
Yeah, I'll stick to this strategy.
Right, and a knight on e5, which is like centralized knight, everything, it does not control the squares you would like it to control.
Exactly.
Rook, yeah, I was going to say rook d5.
Yeah, now Black
That.
really thinking after queen e4. I think he underestimated. There was nothing
Let's try rook
concrete.
d5 here, Peter.
Wow, rook d5.
Yeah.
So knight f5, we have knight f3.
Yep.
Beautiful, nice. Let's just put this there once to show this lovely idea from you. Knight f3 check, and then the knight on f5 will be covered with, and it will be a draw, liquidation. So rook d5, smart idea, nice idea. You're also giving up the f6 pawn, but I can't take it because of rook takes d4. Nice defense.
Yeah, I'm trying to double up the rooks and maybe like chase your knight away without letting it go to the best
Yeah,
possible square.
maybe rook a4 was too artificial. Rook d5 was beautiful. Yeah, I felt
Rook a4
like
is very subtle, Peter.
yes, yes. No, okay. I'm trying to fight for Dubov, yeah, because of course I understand that he will come up with some idea.
So queen e4 is played, right? And
Yeah, queen e4 is played, and Black is thinking. I can also just play normal with knight f5, and after queen c4 play queen e3. I think this is the normal way, and maybe it's good enough.
Okay, he actually played rook f8.
Yeah, rook f8. We will see this because queen c4, queen e3, setting up something, and you can never play queen g4 because of the fork.
Maybe in this position, Peter, I go rook d3.
queen h6.
Queen g4.
Oof. Rook takes a6. I don't know. Some crazy things
all
are
right. I know you got something, but it's not that easy.
not that easy, but I'm tempted.
Okay, but why don't we take f6 simply?
Also,
did I
but
wonder
after
about
rook
that?
a6, I can
Beautiful.
still use the same. Yeah, I wanted to use the.
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay, just to highlight that, yeah, there are all kinds of crazy mating ideas like this, but Mido is absolutely right that, okay, why do we need anything fancy when we can just take queen takes f6 and threaten knight h6 check and also,
e7.
okay, knight e7, depending on the situation, yeah, so very risky position for Black. If that knight on f5 really stands there, it reaches the f5 square and the queen trade is avoided, it feels dangerous. On the board, knight f5. Daniel Dubov.
I think that Tin has just made a move, right?
Yeah, the queen moved to f4, so queen d3
Queen d3.
and queen f4. Sidestepping. Following the spirit. Computer drives me crazy with this 0-0 evolution. Hang on, you have knight g6? Can you play knight g6 and I'm unable to hang on to my construction?
So you have to go queen g4.
Yeah, queen g4, but then already... rook d5, knight e7. Okay, good.
He played king h8.
On the ball. But king h8, I somehow feel that this gives White this extra tempo that he needs. Rook fe1 or what?
Yeah, what does he use that tempo for?
Yes.
Is it crazy to go rook a d1? No, it doesn't work.
Queen d1, queen h6, knight f3 check.
It doesn't work beautifully.
Wonderful, yeah, wonderful idea. Yeah, this is as commentators are duty to show something like this. It wasn't a blunder of queen d1, it was setting up this lovely idea of setting checkmate like this. Queen g4 loses because of queen takes f6, king g8, knight h6 fork. But Black has this counter strike with knight f3 check. White has to take, and then all of a sudden Black gives a check.
Yeah, you have to go back to g3, and then queen captures f3.
Yes, so all right. Very intense, very interesting, intensive fight.
Wait, can I do No, that's silly, right? Rook a3. Somehow I want to...
Really want to, yes?
Tricks, yeah. I want to play for tricks. Rook a3, queen a3, queen h6. I mean, just to be sure it works, because it kind of does, right? It's queen f6 and queen g7 both being threats. Knight f3, king h1 doesn't change.
Looks good enough. Okay, let's just show for the audience that, yeah, this, boom, boom.
You know, knight f3 works again before capturing the
because,
rook.
yes.
Right? Does it? Oh, no, I've hallucinated. I don't think it does. This one wins.
Here, yeah?
Not knight f3 here, but then queen takes
Queen takes f3, yeah, protects everything. Wow, so hang on, rook a3. No, Dubov played the move knight g3. Very curious what was going on after rook a3.
Maybe just queen goes somewhere.
But it's not so easy to find a good square.
And also...
He went to g6.
Yeah, because knight g3 happened in the game, okay? So it will be interesting afterwards to find out. Queen g6, rook a5. All right, this is the squeezing strategy, yeah? That the knight on g3 takes care of everything on the king side. Maybe white will even play h3 just to create luft, rook fa1. Going after the a6 pawn, and even 3 versus 3 will be a nightmare to defend.
Yeah, the queen is stuck on g6, yeah? Completely tied down to the defense of f6.
Yeah, and rook a5 stops queen g5. That's another multi-purpose move. Because queen g5 takes, and then the knight on e5 will be hanging.
Yeah. It's an unpleasant position.
Very unpleasant.
Okay, let's take a look at what is going on between Jumabayev and Makhsoudlu on the next board. Jumabayev is very low on time. He's got 2 minutes.
Wow, but he trapped the bishop on c4. I wanted to say that it's a horrible position. Yes, the position is horrible, but the bishop on c4 is suddenly trapped.
Wow, is that possible? How did that happen?
Yeah, because I think Makhsoudlu was careless already, thinking
he played bishop c4, attacking the rook, and then he played b5. And the bishop just got trapped. Is that for real? I can't believe.
And he will have to play d5 and try to create some... You see, look at his clock.
Yes, and by the way, is Andreikin done already? Because
probably.
He seems to be leaving.
Yes, he won, yeah.
Okay, Andreikin won. It's just not a disaster for their team, even if Makhsoudlu took that wonderful position. And
but hang on, after d5, he even had ed5. Yeah, so he's not even capturing the bishop immediately, allowing some d takes e4. He captured ed5. It might be a full piece, but still this knight on a2 and knight on c1, they are so awkward that maybe somehow black can...
There's like e4 or something.
Well, now the queen is pinned at the moment, but yeah, at some point, something can... And look at this, yeah, Rinat knows that, yeah, I have 2 minutes, I had a stupid position, I had absolutely zero perspective, and all of a sudden, I'm winning a piece, yeah, the position is complicated, but the situation is so much better than a few minutes ago.
Yeah, this is still turning out to be a tough match for Alain because, you know, Artemiev, he has a normal position, but he has less than 2 minutes against almost 9 minutes. And there's still plenty of play left. I mean, you can't say that he's much better in this hedgehog. I mean, he has pressure against the d-pawn, I guess, right, Peter?
Yes, okay, or also maybe trade with the bishop on d4 at the right moment. Okay, in any case, he's enjoying himself.
But not the clock. It's hard to enjoy that clock situation.
Yeah, but he's used to this. Yeah, this is his trademark. Yeah, as long as he has 1 second on the clock with increment, he is fine. I almost got some heart attack covering his games. I know what I'm talking about.
May I request the game to be featured, because otherwise it has absolutely no chance. But it's a very interesting game and also higher elo game. So it's Fide team with Nigel Short facing team from India. So it's Short Erigaisi, and also if you look at the position, there was some sideline in the Sicilian, and Nigel went f5, bishop f4, rook b6, knight takes f5, sacrificing the knight. He went e6, d6, e7. I don't know how sound his attack is, but it looks exciting, right? Rook f8, bishop g5.
But now after bishop e6, what?
now I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Because it looks like I've seen the game when the pawn was on e7, and I thought he must have calculated something. The pawn's on e7.
Yeah, and bishop e6 on the board.
And rook takes f5.
Yeah, but there is no threat.
No threat.
There is no threat, and this is the problem against the young new generation. They are not afraid of ghosts, of you are attacking it. If does it work? No, then I will be refusing.
What's the chance of us going for this position?
Yes,
Close to zero, because yes, I understand there is some attack, there's danger.
Exactly.
Rook e6 technically is a threat for now, right? Rook e6, then take on f8, and queen will be hanging.
Yes, but okay, I guess maybe some d5 or something. Yeah, I can. Right. Just activate.
Anyway, just wanted to bring you this up.
Let's take a look at Lagno versus Gong, because...
By the way, sorry, just even bishop takes f5 and then I sacrifice my queen and protect with king e6 my bishop. It also looks good enough.
Yeah, right, yeah.
All right, so Lagno, yeah?
Yeah, Lagno. Well, her opponent has just played g5 and actually have a really interesting position on the board that's a bit tricky to evaluate. Can't really be worse as white. I mean, your king does feel safer, but the knight on f4 looks pretty powerful. I would say feels still kind of unclear to me, this position. Queen g7.
F3, queen g7. Okay, I'm also tempted from the white side to play a move like rook e1. Yeah, just to make sure that I'm able to recapture with the rook. I'm a very conservative player, but for example, knight takes e5, rook e5, bishop g6, and then you activate that bishop is also at least double-edged.
Keep the balance,
yes.
Right? Right. It doesn't look like black is doing terribly, and they're getting into a more critical time situation. And on the sixth board, Zhang and Galim Januli, well, there's been a lot of action. You know, we saw white build up that space advantage early in the game. He's got all his pieces on the H file in a very unusual way. Somehow black has given up his light squared bishop. Oh, for the rook.
For the rook, and he's threatening with rook c2. I'm feeling like white lost the control of this game.
Well, the f6 pawn is hanging, but white doesn't really have time to take it. On the other hand, what if we go... Well, how do we stop rook c2?
Yeah, I don't know how to stop it. I just feel like white got overexcited with all these attacking possibilities, but I do see already a move which is not to my liking. This g takes f6 immediately in the moment when we saw it, we felt like white should just keep the tension and build up with knight g3. And g takes f6, heavily worked in black's favor because suddenly you get clarity on the king side. I think another very instructive moment how you should not play in this type of positions. And yeah, now after queen b3, black is having everything under control.
Yeah, it's a nice move.
Yeah, can we take a look at Team Hans versus WR, and particularly on the second board of it, because it's just crazy. Is it? Well, I don't know if it's a perpetual or what it is.
Oh, it's over.
No idea. Is it? So
Queen c7 check.
Queen c7 check.
And it's mate.
I thought it was exciting. No, the game was surprising.
The game was exciting, probably, but...
15th move, king on e7. Yeah,
wow.
700s playing.
Do you think that Maksudlu could be making a comeback in his game? Because it doesn't look so bad for him anymore. His opponent has 22 seconds, and he's like technically down a rook, but he's about to win the bishop back. I don't know. I think with his opponent's time situation, a comeback is still possible in this game.
Well, with Maksudlu, anything is possible. But, for example, bishop g4, h5, bishop e6, maybe is a solid way of, if I'm panicking, maybe there is something much better. But you called it out like this that I got already frightened, yes?
Right now it's black's turn, right? So black can take the bishop.
Ah, it's black to move. Okay, that's a different story.
It's nice to get that bishop off the board.
But you know, because the bishop is actually kind of trapped anyway, you can just take.
And then you have, well, you're down in exchange, but...
Yeah, but that's why Maksudlu actually does not even want to take this, because this bishop cannot run away. He wants to keep the tension.
Okay, well, he did take it. Queen f3. Okay, objectively, he's losing, yeah?
Yeah, no, now then it's losing. You were very nicely packaging it. Yeah, I thought like it's a long term, you know, it's kind of thing. But if you have to take on f3 and I get clear, look at this. Rook e2, rook e1, beautifully ready. I don't really believe in this practical chance. So what about Dubov then? Let's see. Is it possible that Maxodlu loses and Dubov wins?
And there's
Would
no
this be-
clarity in the board between Artemyev and Siddharth at all. Like their game, almost hasn't even started yet, and Artemyev has less than 30 seconds against almost 4 minutes.
And I think Dubov has all the chances to win this position. Now that the rooks were traded, he's active with the rook on d6. The queen will be coming back to f4, putting pressure on the f6 pawn. I'm not believing that black can control everything. There are too many problems. And there is disconnection between the pieces. Yeah, queen on g6, rook on a8. The queen is holding on to f6. The rook on a8 is holding on to... What? Queen in... No.
Queen e4.
No. This is a
F4.
mistake. Queen
It was
f4, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Queen, of course, queen f4.
Okay, so he wants to play rook takes f6. Can we hold that pawn? It's a pretty important pawn because without it, you're also going to lose your knight.
Queen e4 can only happen in online chess, right? The mouse slip,
The
famous
sleep,
mouse slip.
right.
So actually, there's a big problem with rook takes f6 coming.
Yeah, queen
queen
g5,
G5.
queen e4. Yeah, this is how he's...
And then rook's hanging f4 threatened, so rook g.
Rook g8
is the
has
only
to be
move.
played. Did he play rook g8?
He's kind of holding on with rook g8, yeah?
Yeah, but also after f4 there is still knight g4 kind of idea. So no, he played rook b8. Yeah, he is setting up this knight g4 trap. He's down to 1 minute 19 seconds in this position. It will be all Daniel has to do is keep the tension,
Right.
and it will be always very difficult to answer the...
Yeah, but now if you
challenges.
go back to f5, like knight f5, and then
Yeah, I think he played it. Yes, I think he jumped back with the knight to f5.
because you could play f4 even if it doesn't win a knight, just to kick the knight away from stable square.
Yeah, so maybe we go, if we go a4, what happens? Is there...
Well, f4, then queen where? No, you cannot pin me. No, f4 is a threat.
Yeah, what an unpleasant position for black.
Yeah, and just 1 minute on the clock. I think it practically this looks lost.
Well, he went knight g6.
Knight g6, stopping.
Hoping
Okay,
for a
but then
trade.
g3, I guess. Yeah, we stop any kind of queen f4 check ideas.
Can we do something like back rank currently? There is a back rank checkmate, but I don't see how to, like, okay, yeah.
No, just g3, I
Yeah,
guess.
g3 is very classy move. Restrict the knight, maybe
Yes.
h4 is...
And actually the knight cannot move away anymore from g6, so the back rank issues remain.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the board, yeah. Yeah, so Daniel Dubov will probably contribute with a victory in the very last round.
You guys might want to take a look at Zhang versus Galim Januli because that position looks wild. It could be amazing for white, or maybe white is like giving up all their pieces.
Whoa.
Again, something, but luckily I can take with the knight on g. Maybe I can even take with the pawn, and then run out with the king.
The queen h3 is not deadly, yeah, because
Yeah.
the king runs to f6.
No,
What's
no.
the material, or it doesn't make sense to come?
It's a rook.
Blacks up a rook.
Black's upper rook, so then in this case, what do? We take with the...
We can do whatever we want, actually.
Take with the pawn, allow queen h3, go king g7, yeah?
Yes. Let's not forget that we are threatening ourselves with some knight takes f3 check. Also rook c1. There are no more pieces left.
Okay, well that's good news for black because it was looking a little dangerous when you see two knights on f6 and g6.
And good news for our line, yeah, that also the last board is under control. Dubov will be able to neutralize if things go wrong for Parham.
Well, Logno is not really better, I think. They seem to have a pretty balanced queen and rook endgame.
Well, actually, computer already claims 2.5 advantage for Dubov, but it's obvious. Look at this. Black's knight was forced all the way back to f8. Now the queen is on g6 in a horrible square with g3, h4. White has taken all the squares. It's kind of time for some knockout punch. Yeah, queen f3, setting up some ideas against the f6 pawn. Knight e6.
96. He could be tricky with queen f4, so that 96 he could take.
Good, yeah, but now he just first collects the a5 pawn so that he will not have to think about this pawn anymore. And black is completely stuck, yeah, rook d8, rook takes a5, we are assuming.
Oh, wait, but then there is knight d4, right?
And there is knight d4. Yeah.
d4.
Yeah, the only thing that we have to watch out. Yeah, we don't want to trade the knights. If my king would be on g2 against knight d4, I would have rook a8.
Yeah.
It would be beautiful, but yeah, with king on
Let's
h2.
check on f3.
Yes, I have to watch out.
But anyway, this match seems to be like pretty much decided, right? So they are on +1.
He actually took on a5. Even knight d4 is losing because there will be h5. Takes and h5, and then you run out. I think he believes in this. At least I believe Dubov.
Yeah, right. Because you have to keep f6 defended, so you'll have to go queen h6.
And then some mate, but rook on d4 covers the g4 square, so
Right, so no checkmate yet.
Yeah, not winning on the spot.
Anyway, that
d4 is on the board.
On the board, correct. It's the only chance, good or bad, you have to play it. And the good news is if you don't lose on the spot, then you will actually
Yeah, you've traded
survive.
off the powerful knights, right? Which has been the problem all along.
Yes.
well, wait a second. Is queen d1 a move? Or this is too much?
Queen d1.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or queen d... I don't know what queen d3 does.
Queen d3, I mean, queen d1 is more stylish. Yeah, if you want to use this idea, then I think queen d1 is... Can I play knight c6?
Yeah. And that's why I was asking, like, if it works or it doesn't. Knight c6, rook d5.
Queen takes f5.
Wow.
And that's why maybe you need queen on d3. Yeah, who knows? But it wasn't exactly what we expected. Yeah,
But it feels like it's a bit artificial, right?
Yes.
So we were enjoying this advantage and...
Yeah, it was not necessary to allow this.
Almost looks like Zhang is going to get a draw against Galim Januli, that position that we thought was completely winning.
Oh, and can you imagine if suddenly Tin holds this, the last board holds it, and Parham loses, then what do we have?
We have two games.
Well, we have Artemyev trying to win some endgame where, you know, he doesn't have a lot of time. He put himself in a difficult situation. I don't know.
Okay, look at this. This is Max Todluspora. This is now practically lost. Yeah, there is just absolutely zero hope because there is no pawn. There is a passed c pawn. Everything is under control. Now the knight is joining the game.
King is safe.
Yes.
All good.
This is terrible. So you mentioned the Artemyev game. Let's bring it up. Okay, pair of bishops, but black has this grip. Artemyev probably has very little time, correct?
17 seconds.
Yes. Wow, this is becoming a crazy match.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not as calm for Elaine as they would have liked because I think Zhang versus... well, let's just take a look at that. Zhang versus Galim Januli. Like, it looks like he got him into some kind of perpetual. Like, they've just been repeating the position. I think there must have been already been a draw must have been agreed.
Wow.
Was that possible?
Yes. I don't know. Was there no way for that king to escape? Like maybe...
No, it should have been, but...
Okay, Logno...
Yeah, he already...
They
repeated 3 times, yeah.
Yeah, Logno didn't really have any, I think, good chances in this game.
But hang on, then things are getting out of control because Logno is, this is maximum draw.
Well, they have a chance from Artemyev, but I don't know, it doesn't look like a very big one. I mean, it's still a chance.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
And then Dubov after knight d4 suddenly is frozen and he's trying to fight with himself. Like, how did I think he simply hallucinated thinking that knight d4, rook d4, h5 just wins on the spot. And he was calculating like, okay, after queen h6, which is forced, I just gonna give a checkmate. And game is over, but the rook is controlling the g4 square. And if there is no queen g4 mate, then suddenly... And look at this, Dubov is just very angry.
Okay, did he make...
He made a move.
Oh, the guy touched his knight, but then wants to do something else. Wait, so Dubov played... Where did he go with his queen? He went queen a8.
Wow, he came up with something.
Oh, he went queen a8.
Queen a8,
here.
queen g8, and queen a6.
Okay, tricky.
Tricky, and now
Rook
he
f5,
will...
rook f5. Okay, he's trying to win.
So he wins a pawn at the very least.
Okay, so he's still going to have his winning chances.
Yes, but on the other hand, okay, this is maybe holdable. for black.
It's a very annoying pawn that is missing. Like you would
Yes.
prefer it to be any
Other.
of the two. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, any other. Okay, but then maybe queen a8 was a very strong move.
What's happening? So
I mean, Artemiev still has chances to win. He's got like an outside pass pawn in h5. He's got the bishop pair. I feel like it's going wrong for Siddharth. What do you think? I think
His f takes g4 move I did not like at all. That was like a shocking move. Absolutely no reason to give this chance. And yeah, Artemiev now with few seconds on the clock in his element.
Oh, it's going to come down, I think, to his game. But okay, Dubov also has still chances to win.
Dubov has chances, yes.
Still has a nice advantage on the clock. He has that extra pawn. Queen's on the board. So those are... And,
that's crazy.
you know, even Maksudlu, I mean, he hasn't let his position deteriorate too much, but yeah, it's kind of slowly going in the wrong direction for him.
Yeah, now h5 pawn is no, now queen trade it happened.
Yeah.
So only if he could eliminate all the pawns from the, okay, the c pawn is falling, but the a5 pawn remains.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate blunder by him earlier on.
Right,
Absolutely.
It was such a comfortable position.
So let's watch the Artemiev game, because that one
Artemiev
has some potential.
or the Dubov game. But okay, yes, this is Jumabayev against Parham. A hopeless situation for Parham. Here Artemiev has chances.
He just played king e2 attacking that bishop. What happens on, I was going to say bishop g5, or no, he...
Oh, wow, but now it's a draw.
Oh,
After
wow,
king
it's just
e2,
a total
he
draw.
lost the h5 pawn. This should be a draw now.
Huh.
Well, guys, a little update. So China team has won.
Okay.
Team Hans against WR is, I think, is 2.5, 2.5. And the last game, it's not clear if Ho Yifan's going to win. So that's...
Wow, Brandon beat Pragnananda.
Yeah, Brandon Jacobson won against Pragnananda, and this is the last game we have. So that's Salimova, who is white against Ho Yifan. I don't think white is supposed to lose this one, no.
Okay,
That
black
might
is
be-
trying.
Right, well, okay, king e2. Yeah, of course she will try to play on, but with such a weakness as a6
Yes,
pawn is,
should be. Yeah,
so imagine, so this could be like two of our leaders will be held for a draw, which is incredible, right? Because Dubov's team, the Alain team, they are not guaranteed.
So Dubov really needs to win.
He does.
He needs to win for his team to get first. There's incredible pressure on him right now. Well, he's got chances. Oh, rook g6. Okay, he's forcing a rook trade.
Yeah, he's about to.
But still, no, hold on. The rook trade's not so easy.
Not so easy, yes.
You're going to be
but
an immediate zugzwang and then you'll resign. So queen e8.
Queen e8.
Okay, tricky. What else can we do here, Peter? Can we take on g6, actually, and go queen f6?
And then queen f8.
Queen f8 you have, yeah?
I still have queen f8.
So lucky, huh?
Yes. But what happened? I think Dubov made a move.
g4.
G4, yeah. He's
Yeah,
making
G4.
sure that the h6 pawn will be supported. Black is very unfortunate.
Wow, g5, maybe put
G5.
the pawn all the way to g5.
Well, can you imagine if Dubov wins and thanks to this win they get the
Oh,
title?
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is...
I have a feeling that's where it's going.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting that that'd be his first win.
Yes.
But it's going to be very important.
Well, it would be so important for him. Just feeling-wise, yeah, that I also
know.
perfectly contributed.
So yeah, you guys could win the matches you could win without me. I was not performing, yeah, but
Exactly.
now that you need me, I win. Yeah.
Queen e8, he's got a minute and a half to figure this out.
How much emotions are going through his mind that he needs to control them and just focus on the game.
So wait a second. So it means you can bring the king up, you can move the queen, go f4, and maybe f5 one day. But then you'll be running to perpetuals. Or
Very tough to say how black is at all able to...
Okay, he decides not to trade the rooks.
Rook
Rook
f5.
Pulls it back.
Okay, Black
5.
is actually down to his last seconds. He made his move with 4 seconds on the clock.
It's more about, I'm guessing, Rook A5, Rook B5, Rook B8.
Yeah, he wants to.
He just threatened checkmate on G7. So either the queen has to go back to F8 or the rook. But if the rook goes back, there's rook D5 threatening rook D8. He's combining the threats on G7 and the D8 square. It's starting to look very hard for Black to hold.
Well,
King H3 is escaping from the checks.
King H3.
I feel like he's like weaving the net.
Yeah, it's a +8 advantage according to the computer. Yeah, because Queen G7 checkmate is a big threat. Rook D5 is a big threat.
So Queen F8, Rook D5.
You have to go Rook E8.
Rook E8.
Okay, pretty much nothing is moving, right?
And then nothing is moving. But how do you win? That will be the last question.
You put the rook on the 7s. Yeah, you put the rook on the 7s, you put the queen on F6 maybe.
Yeah, and then I'm shuffling.
G6 somewhere.
And G6, yeah,
G6.
exactly.
I have to make sure that Queen H6 is not a check.
not a check.
It will take some time, let's call it.
So he'll put the king back on G2.
Exactly.
It can't be checked.
But the good thing is, like, Black absolutely can't do anything.
Yeah, King
Maksudlu
G.
has lost. And, you know, Artemiev, he's still trying. But yeah, that game should finish in a draw. So it really comes down to this one. This is it.
And we already have spoken about the decisive Queen F6, G6 break. And then H take G6 will be met by H7. And the rook captures H7.
And then rook captures F7 and it's checkmate. Okay, yeah, he's getting ready. And he just did it.
Queen F6. And look at with the way how he played it, yeah, that, you know, it's over. That was kind of the...
Beautiful position. Look at that domination, finally, of the rook and the queen. And Maksudlu so relieved that his unexpected loss is now going to be compensated, and they are still going to be the champions.
Yeah, because they absolutely deserve. Well,
I know. I mean, messing up against a team that's kind of an outsider team.
Right.
Right? Like in the last round would have been the saddest thing in the world, right? So, but it was such a tough match for them.
And also, if you look at it, like at the beginning, they would cry, okay, I'd look at this team and say, okay, we should have no problem. But closer towards the end, like last match and previous match as well, like all of a sudden, it's shaky, right? It's shaky.
yes, okay, it's never easy, yeah? It's always this, the tension, the nerves, the opponent has nothing to lose.
Okay, queen versus rook.
But with each one, and Dubov stands up, he looks around, he knows that, okay, that's it. I only need to win this game.
Is it that simple? How simple is it?
Yes, it is simple.
It is simple when there's
It is very simple, yeah. Especially
I guess
because...
if White didn't have the F-pawn, it would be a bit of
That's a different,
question, right?
yeah, different story. But here you just make all the natural moves are coming closer and Black just collapses because there is no way to fight.
Without the F-pawn, I'm not sure if it's like winning at all. Well, it really depends.
Depends on nuances, yes.
Yeah, because like all the endgame books would tell you that with the G6 pawn it's a win, and then you check with the table base it's a win. But if it's on G5, it's maybe a draw, and depends what the king is. So it's
yeah, I think that if Black gets this rook on F5, then it's very important that you have Queen G8 so that the king cannot reach back, and so on. Yeah, but that's already more mathematics.
Yeah, and this one is just push everything forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, how you will not lose that rook, yeah? This is also the big
It's
question.
also a challenge.
There's no way he can like try to win that rook quickly. I guess not. Not yet, right?
Queen F8.
Queen
F8, right? After
Queen F6
K1.
also looks pretty annoying here.
Queen F8 wins it by fourth, I thought.
The king went to
Yeah.
yeah, Queen F6 was played.
When? After rook A1?
Oh, look over here. Here we got it. Rook A1, Queen F8, King H7, Queen E7, King G8, Queen F6. I think he's winning the pawn, and he resigned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Done.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, the happiness. And okay, congratulations. Yes, really.
Yes, especially from Maksudlu, you know.
So the
he's
match
so
is over,
happy.
that means, right?
It's over.
That's
It's over.
Elaine has become the champions of the second edition of the Fide World Team Rapid Championship. And it was a great finale because even the last round was so suspenseful when they played an outsider team with still two GMs, but some unknown players. It was still such a tough match. for the LA team. So let's see. Okay, actually, there's one game still left.
Artemiev
This game is not so important. I mean, Artemiev has an extra pawn, but he's not going to be able to
and he
convert it.
doesn't mind it. Yeah, this is the scenario, and he's kind of.
Let's see if we get to see the LA team kind of celebrate after that victory.
It was so nice. Parham hugging Daniil Dubov. Daniil had a nightmare of an event. His team kept him going, because thanks to his team winning, he could forgive himself.
Well, I would say this was very much a team effort from Elaine. Like, everyone had their shaky moments, I guess, maybe except Andrejkin. Andrejkin on board 4 was just too strong.
Well, we have seen that game where he was shaky, right?
Yes.
You sensed it.
Yeah. And we found that one moment, but he managed to win that one anyway. And then he won very quickly today in this fourth game of the day.
Artemiev is like a rock.
Yes.
Also,
although, again, in this round, it just wasn't his round. It just, the game, it was taking too long in the opening.
But that's his way of playing. Yes.
But Dubov came through in the final match, and he won his first game of the event at such a key moment.
And what a game. It was a very nice performance, and handshake, and a big congratulations from Daniil Dubov to his teammate Vladislav Artemiev.
Yeah, this was such a tough event to be the winners of this tournament when there's players like Magnus and Nepo, Rapports on the other teams. This was not easy at all.
Not easy, and they kept on winning, and still in the last round it was so easy to miss the chance.
I feel like in the last couple of rounds, like Team China, it was kind of obvious they were going to win because they were getting really quite easier pairings, but Elaine was still challenged by GM Han's team and by this team.
Exactly, and both these matches were completely crazy, down to the wire.
Wow. Well, what an enjoyable tournament. By the way, China won 6-0 against Krakow. I mean, they are such a strong team because they are able to win with huge scores. And Elaine was never really winning with scores like 6-0.
Yes, okay, but they also have the secret weapon, on the 6 board.
Yes, and that secret weapon still wasn't quite enough for them. But they're going to be in second place.
Right. So in terms of kind of team intrigues, there's still this game going on.
There is this game, exactly, yes. Salimov against Huifan. Huifan is trying to squeeze out something. And you already mentioned that this is very important, right? Because
they're on equal score.
They are on equal score, despite Duda beating Tabatabai and Abdusatov beating Daniel Darda, because of loss of Pragnand against Brandon Jacobson and Mero Agiad beating Rosenstein. Wow.
So this is a fight for third place, actually, in the tournament, because if WR doesn't win, and I guess, I don't know
Chessie is winning, Chessie won already. Because Chessie can catch them. Chessie needed to win.
Let's see if they did.
And on tie breaks, WR is always losing. They had a horrible tie break. That's the only thing I remember.
Okay, so, wow, Richard Report lost?
Chessie,
what?
Did Chessie win?
Well, Martirosyan won, Vidit won, Serrano won. Okay, they won.
They won. Okay, then actually...
But Richard lost, Yeah,
okay, but basically this means that if Huifan is not winning this game, then Chessie is taking the bronze medal.
Yep. That's what it means.
If what we think is correct.
So Chessie, if they win, they're going to have better tie breaks, actually, over WR.
They have,
Yes. Wow. So, if WR doesn't win, the fact that Magnus sat out this match, might
cost them.
Yeah,
might cost them the medal. Yeah, how did
we have a very special guest coming, guys? One that you have been waiting for this whole tournament. So don't miss this interview.
Okay, he won all his games, right?
It's one of the people that won a lot of games.
Okay. Okay, good. Looking forward.
Yeah.
Well, and there is something more we could touch in terms of standings, because I just figured out there is a prize for under 2400, and I don't know exactly what it is, but the team prize, if you look at the prices, Right, there is a special prize under 2400, which I suppose team's average rating or some board's average rating.
But this will be too complicated for us.
We can't really, figure this out.
We can barely figure out the standings at
Yes.
the top.
Yeah,
So I
fair
think under
enough.
2450, we'll have to wait for the standings to come up.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're ready for our guest, Peng Bo. Welcome to the studio. Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
yes.
Take a seat.
Okay.
So, no, you've become very famous.
Thank you.
Got a lot of new fans.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been the secret weapon for China. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I'm Peng Bo from China, and this is my 26 years. I'm 26 years old, and this is the about 20 years from the first time I started playing chess. I think when I was in childhood, I played a lot of chess, but by the time China didn't develop very well, so I play a lot of, I get a lot of trainings and play a lot of rounds, but nobody recorded it, so I don't have ratings. And then I went to universities and I found a job in game industry. So it's very lucky for me to be here and to see you guys.
So are you excited to play with like the best players in your country and in the world?
Yeah, it's very excited and also very nervous because I never imagined that I can be a team with Ding Liren and other famous Chinese players. When they told me that we have a seat for you, and I feel very glad.
Wow, so this must be the most exciting chess event that you've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
Is this this is your first international chess tournament?
Yes.
Interesting. So you've never played chess like outside of China.
Yes, we have different small tournaments in China, and they have different salaries. I usually play some tournaments like that and with some salaries, but that's it. So nobody record my play style, and nobody know who I play.
Do you play chess online as well?
I think several years ago I played chess online, but no, because I started work, so I put it on the other side.
And how did you get into the team? Who contacted you? Who is your friend?
I think they are all my friend. I think Nihua attached me because we are alumni. We graduated from the same university, and
that's the connection.
yeah, he knows that I'm very good at playing chess.
Yes, we saw it. Yes.
Did you do any preparation for this tournament, like playing some practice games just to get ready?
Yes, we have I think my team helps me a lot. We arrived 2 or 3 days, maybe 3 days ago. We arrived here, and we speak highly of your tournament, so we prepare really a lot. They give me some, I think they call it military training for me. They just play with me rounds by rounds, and I feel very nervous. And I think every day after tournament, Nihua and Li Chao will help me, and also other players will share me a lot of useful tips and tricks.
So your teammates and like the coaches, they were helping you along.
Yeah. Without my teammate, I cannot achieve this score. I think
you won all your games, right? You won the last round as well.
Thank you. I prepared nearly all the games with the help of these grandmasters. They help me prepare openings, and they show me how to play with different opponents. And after every round, they show me how I can improve and which move I didn't play well.
Who was your main helper?
Main helper, I think both Nihua and Li Chao.
So Nihua, is he here, Nihua, or is internet?
He's the captain.
Nihua is here? I just
he's
never
the
saw
captain,
him.
yes.
Oh, okay.
The captain, and
Nice.
he's always on the board, and he's always behind our team. So when we play, he's behind you. You'll feel okay. He will support us. So
Yes.
we feel very good.
Well, congratulations on this amazing performance, and for helping Team China get the silver medal here.
Say what?
They couldn't ask for anything more.
Okay.
from you. So
Yeah, fantastic.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you can go and celebrate with your team now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, so Nihua, the captain, yeah, he knows all the tricks, he knows everything. I also would like to say, I think that Pengbo was very shy, yeah, that he was saying that thanks to all his teammates, he already had the basics, he had the fundamentals, yeah, because all the coaches together in the world couldn't have made him such a player like he is already, yeah. So he had all the qualities, and then the coaches managed to get the most out of him.
Yeah, but definitely it's, you know, I guess the preparation was important, right? They were taking this very seriously, preparing their sixth board. Like
finding him, was already, the preparation started maybe a year ago. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know the latest news?
Yes.
So Ho Yifang has won, right?
She's won.
Who Yifan won.
She has won, and WR wins. And
And
that
then bronze
means
medal.
we know all the winners' names or teams' names.
Wow,
Wow,
drama.
How did that happen?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look.
So for a very, very long time, it was a draw Shuriken game, 2v1.
But here she gave the chance for f4 check. I feel like, okay, you can never allow the f4 check, so rook e8 check, king d5. And she played rook f8. After rook f8, f4 check, this is horrible, because now the king has to go. Maybe it's some kind of a study like draw, but when you have little time and you are so exhausted, then suddenly all these kind of things, the king is going towards the f3 pawn, can get very tricky. Rook d8, king e3.
Yeah, and
Rook
your king
d5.
is kind of in the wrong direction, right?
Completely wrong. Rook g6, king f5, and okay, now it's completely lost, because the pawn cannot be stopped. Yeah, so basically, simply you can never allow this f4 check. She was holding on for a very long time. Hu Yifan was doing the things that you have to do, that you are doing nothing, you just keep the tension and try to play on your opponent's nerves. And this rook f8 check, king e6, rook e8, king d5. Now after rook d8 check, there is rook d6. That's why I'm a little bit already worried for white still. Now after rook a8, f4 check, we can at least come back to f2.
Right, and there is no...
Exactly, no check from the second rank,
she should have...
This rook f8 was very unfortunate, because after rook f8, f4 check, if white plays king f2, I believe white had to maybe try this, but this also looks very bad. Check, king f1, king d4. And if white plays something like... Okay, white has to play rook d8. This is... But black plays rook d2.
Is rook e8 possible?
Rook
e8 instead of rook b8.
Yes, oops, this is always the
like
trick.
king f2.
So here rook e8, then okay, black will play king e3, rook takes e5, king takes f3, and then king g1.
Yep.
This should be draw, but with little
it's always
it's a nightmare, yes. Because there are millions of tries, and we have seen it also in the Carlsen Mamedov game. Okay, that was a much worse version than Shakliar's rook was even in a horrible position, but this was probably the only chance to save the game.
Should we take a look at how Richard lost?
Wow.
He lost to Grandmaster Sumia Bilgun.
The who knew air, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was the one win that Hunyu Air got, but still it's over top players. So it's always interesting to see how that happens.
Where is it? It's here. Well, actually, Bilgun was very close of beating Magnus Carlsen. That game was very scary for Magnus. So Bilgun is a very dangerous player. You wanted to see how it happened? Well, okay. Richard was also provoking with the Alekhine defense. Knight c3, b takes. Okay, this is already kind of happiness for black, I guess. So we cannot be blaming the loss on the Alekhine. That's what I wanted to say. e6, g3. So okay, Richie in his element, sacrificed the rook. The exchange, it should be good compensation, but how good, it's another question. Queen f3, queen d8 back. Bishop d2, queen a5. king e2, queen a4. So he sacrificed on h4, but then he went on to play according to the Vinavert French kind of spirit with the queen on a4, showing a lot of understanding. He has full compensation. I'm guessing that he's planning knight e7, bishop c6, then knight f5 and so on. What happened here? King f1, c4. Did he have to rush this? Okay, he played it, c4. Because he was setting up bishop a3, so it wasn't like c4 move just without any idea or blocking white from going c4, bishop a3. So that's why white plays the move a3. Knight e7, the knight is shuffled. Well, actually, if you look at this game, one has the feeling that Richie is doing everything right. So what happened? Knight f5, bishop f2, and c takes d3. I'm not liking this decision. CD, CD. Suddenly, white's rook is in the game. Let's continue. Bishop c6, king g1, bishop e7, d4, rook h8, queen d1, and yes, black has compensation, but yeah, after c4, white created. Finally, he breaks. So I think Richard was just trying too hard to win and to play too fancy, and he got punished. c4, king b8, queen c2, a6, rook a b1, and all of a sudden things are heating up, and boom, rook takes b7, but it's already, it was in the air.
Right.
It was in the air, this beautiful tactic. King takes b7, bishop d5 check, queen takes d5, queen c7 check, king a8,
rook c6.
Rook c6, still there is queen b5, and then suddenly rook b6.
Wow.
And the queen is overloaded because rook takes a6 and queen b7 check are both mating threats. Richie took on b6 and resigned after queen takes b6. So, wow, it just shows that, yeah, you cannot underestimate these players, because Richie was playing a very interesting style, right? And black, instead of collapsing, was putting up fantastic defense, and then used his counter chance.
Well, I see our chat is very happy that we had Hang Bo in the studio. I think, people just relate to him, right? Like this unknown player coming in and being the star for his team, playing alongside the world champions, but being like the MVP. It's kind of like everyone's dream, right?
That's a great format, right?
Yes.
That's what people kind of envision. Yeah, I wish I could be on the same team with, say, Grandmaster. And he just did, and he was the star of the team.
And he became a world champion with this team, yeah? It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like it's aspiration for amateur players everywhere, right? Just send in your application to GM Han's team, and he might, select you for the next year's competition. And
I'm pretty sure that now the other teams will be also hunting at very special persons. Yeah,
they've already been hunting them, so this is not a new thing. Like, I talked to some other captains, and of course they all realize how important the sixth board is, and they're trying to find these underrated players. Like, there were a lot of these boards were Kazakh local players.
All right.
Which makes a lot of sense. This is a country with like a developing chess scene. And I think it's easier when you don't have to kind of like get an amateur player to travel from another country, right? You can sort of, ask around, and yeah, so a lot of the sixth boards here were actually local players, which I think is nice for the development of chess in Kazakhstan as well.
Absolutely, and some of them would be pretty strong, because on average I think they are quite underrated.
Yes.
Players from Kazakhstan.
There's a lot of support here, yeah. There are very good coaches. I know that Tkachov, I have been working with him. I think he's fantastic. Yeah, he's one of the coaches. Now, Ildar Hayrulin is also one of the coaches, and there are many, many others. I feel like in a couple of years, we'll be hearing more and more about the Kazakh players.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to say this day has not been a disappointment, right? Like, we avoided the scenario that we were afraid of in this event, which is that one strong team could run away with it all, right? And we had the most exciting final day possible.
And we have a very special guest whom we have been rooting for throughout the event, and it worked. So, Daniel Dubov. welcome, congratulations.
Thank you. It took some time, yeah, to make it work.
Yeah, but it came at the right moment,
Exactly.
at the best moment. We were so, I think everybody was so much rooting for you.
Thank you.
So tell us, how happy do you feel?
Happy enough. No, I feel tired mostly, but yeah, it's nice to win an important game. I mean, I had this weird feeling. I was like many times I was part of the winning teams, being like a key player, and I would always say that it's a team effort and like every person matters and stuff. But it's probably my first time, was potentially my first time as the worst player of the team. And I was like, yeah, it's a team effort, but basically even without me, these people would have won easily. And I mean, it's not even obvious. Like I come there, I look at Magnus, I lose, okay, I go back. But yeah, as the final round made it different, sort of. And yeah, in the sense, it's nice.
So you took a timeout in the penultimate round. Were you watching your team? Because they were actually having a really tough match against the GM Hans team.
I was, and it like for quite some time it didn't even feel close. I had a feeling like it's not even tough. It's just that we're losing by a big margin. But then, I mean, Vladi has always had this magic, yeah, and
yes,
and Andrikin too. So yeah.
And Murcin, because we also spoke about this, that Murcin is a fantastic player, but it should be very difficult for him because he doesn't have the rhythm. Yeah, he was resting a lot, and then suddenly he has to play with a lot of pressure.
Yeah. But it's as Sharapova I think said once. Yeah, we're from cold Russia. We have to fight.
Yes.
No, but seriously, it was nice. I mean, we didn't have too many chances to meet, even not to play as a team, but to meet. And I want to thank the Salayan team for giving us a chance to like at least meet each other, sit and play like good old times. And I mean, we're happy to win.
Yeah, fantastic performance. And it was basically Max Sodlu, the player who was also driving force, one crazy game after another.
Yeah, it was very nervous. Like I'm board one, he is board two. Like whenever I get out of the opening, he's already lost by that point. And yeah, I mean, it was a very special experience playing with him. But it would always end well. And yeah, in the final round, finally, I mean, I helped him. Yeah, I mean, the only game he lost was exactly when I won. So yeah, no, it was a very, very nice team. Seriously, it's like even my result, we had this general team strategies that everybody tries to win, and as long as it works, you don't care. And I think in the team events, you need to learn the skill of not caring too much about yourself, but caring about the team. And in that sense, I was very sort of satisfied with what's going on. I mean, okay, if I need to lose all the games to make these people champions, I will. I thought, and yeah, luckily I didn't have to.
So in your final game, did you feel like you maybe let the win slip away when knight d4 happened, or did you always feel like you had things under control?
I mean, it felt like early on, it felt like I was probably winning by force, but I didn't see it. But even after knight d4, I mean, okay, it's not that we're going to agree draw anytime soon. I mean, okay, maybe we got to the stage where he has some chances and he will face a very, very tough defense. And frankly, I thought it's very unlikely that he will hold. And
but you were thinking for a very long time after knight d4. We were already very exhausted. We completely missed your move queen a8. So why you were thinking so long at this moment?
Well, we don't have the board. But I mean, if we have,
okay, I can have the board in.
Yeah, then I can show you.
Yes, so here we go. And after knight d4, right?
Yeah.
Yes, here we have.
Yeah, it's just that we have options. Like first of all, there is queen a8 that I played, and it kind of makes sense. I think we get this 3 against 2.
Just
or
to show.
Yeah, after rook g8, I think I have yeah. So here we win.
Yes.
After rook g8 instead of queen g8, I think we have knight e7, which I thought works.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, so he basically, I thought he has to play this queen g8, and then we get this 3 against 2, or he goes queen a6, knight e6. That I thought is just as bad, or maybe even worse.
Yeah.
So this was the way to get 3 against 2, which is very, very... I actually knew that, like, even later in the game, like, if I take f6 and my pawn gets to h6, then even with queens off, it's lost. response on h6 and g5, this 3 against 2 is lost. This
even this.
as far as I know. So I thought, yeah, I thought it's a big margin. Then, yeah, of course, I could take on d4. This was my main sort of
after knight d4.
Yeah, not worry, but I thought that I can take, and actually there is rook 8 followed by queen a3. And of course, it is tempting to win by force. But then he has the stupid queen f5, and for some reason there is no mate. And I really didn't want to believe it. Also, there is no even line, like it's just that there is no mate.
Incredible, yeah?
Yeah, but I just thought like I was, in queen h6, king h6. And I was spending my time thinking that it's very, very unfair that there is no mate, because he deserved it to, you know, to be checkmated and stuff. And the last thing, I could also take on d4 and go and play, I don't know, like rook f5 or whatever. Which, at first, I thought is kind of the same. But yeah, then I realized actually after king g7, it's not sort of given that we take this pawn. We probably will.
And then just hide here, yeah, on h6.
Yeah. And also queen g4, I mean, again, I need to be sure, yeah. It probably works, like h6 check and stuff, but... And there was also queen d3.
Yes.
There was also queen d3 that kind of keeps everything under control in a weird way. Like, he cannot really move, and I cannot do much either. Like, queen g4, I probably go, I don't know, king g2 or something. And, and then I probably want to go f3. This was also interesting. So, I mean, he'll probably have to go knight e6 one day, and I wasn't sure. But then, this position from the game, I thought it's very, very professional decision. He's down to like 10 seconds, and it's like, I mean, of course I knew that it's not even close to being a simple draw. It's like very, very...
Yeah, this helps, of course. Yeah, that.
No, I mean, it's not even like even objectively, it's not like given. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous position, and like there's no schematic way to hold this as black, as far as I know. I mean, the pawn gets to h6, and you probably lose. This one I actually thought should be lost. Yeah, I don't know if it's correct or not, but like in a practical game, I think you lose it all the time. Yeah, again, I want to thank my team, the Saline Club and the guys, I mean, who, for some reason they kept letting me play. It's kind of nice that it paid off at some point. It could be a bit too late, but yeah.
Do you have any plans to celebrate with your team tonight, or the Blitz is starting early tomorrow?
I think there was this like little conversation yesterday, like what happens if things go well, and then more experienced players said that let's deliver first, and then we'll see if it happens. Yeah, so they're probably now waiting and like preparing. I have a feeling this celebration, if it happens, it will be very, very Russian alcoholic style, but we'll see. The Blitz starts, I think, in the morning, which kind of helps us to...
You're looking forward to that?
Yeah. But I mean, after winning this game, I'm like a little bit relieved. Yeah, I thought, okay, Blitz is my only chance to sort of strike back, like in terms of emotions even. But now I'm sort of satisfied. But...
And what is your feeling that what could have gone wrong in the beginning, that you never find your rhythm? You are such a strong rapid player.
No, I think it's a mix. First of all, of course, you don't take it too seriously, especially in the beginning. It's not like individual event. You try to have fun. Like starting from game one, let's say I played this like line that I knew it's much easier for black to play, and of course it's not too professional. But again, I know we'll win the match. I wanted to get into shape, and and try to play a sharp game. Okay, it didn't work out. Again, I played for a win, like on purpose. I played some equal positions that I knew I shouldn't be trying to win, but again, I thought for the team it will be better if I get into shape. Then someone played for knights. I couldn't do much. Then I don't know. Then at some point I met this Norwegian guy, who actually, like, it was my best game of the tournament by far. He was outplayed and stuff, but then I somehow, like, not even blundered, but sort of cracked in the time trouble. But in general, like, I was better all the game long. I was, like, I sacrificed a piece in the ending. I played well. I mean, again...
It took me a few seconds to realize who was the Norwegian guy.
Yeah.
You kind of kept his identity hidden pretty well.
It was a very interesting game.
Yeah. And frankly, I think I played well. And then again, like, I play one different move, I probably win. And then it's a different tournament. So, I mean, I didn't feel like it's it's a real like problems there. Yeah, I mean it's a mix, but generally I didn't try to score too many points. I just wanted my team to win. And secondly, yeah, I was probably a bit unlucky sometimes. I mean, again, in a team event, you don't. I mean, so many times I've been like this important part of the winning team. I know it's a team effort. It's never about one guy. So I mean, if you're there, at least I was responsible for the team spirit.
Yes.
Like I was always telling them, look, it goes well unless I win. Yeah, so it's like if I don't win, you know, this is how we win the match. If I'm winning, you need to be worried, but not before that. The final match, I thought, okay, there is no choice. Yeah, I mean, I have to do it apparently. Otherwise, we don't win. But yeah.
Well, thank you, Daniil, for joining us.
Thank you.
Congrats to you and your team, and good luck in the Blitz.
Thank you. Yep.
Exactly.
All right, so now we're going to do a little recap of our favorite moments in terms of best games, best player, and best team. Like, what is the most memorable to us?
Wow.
Commentators. So the first question is to you and to Miro.
Wow. Okay. First of all, I think that we got absolutely deserved champions with the Alain team. I'm very happy for them because throughout the event, showing this stability, it was very nice. So
and I think he had, kind of the right take on it, right? That at the end of the day, it is a team effort. Of course, I think it's very unpleasant to be the player on your team that you feel is not helping the team, right? I mean, psychologically, it's pretty difficult. But, he had the right attitude, right? As long as the team was doing well, he was sort of playing his role. And in the end, he was able to bring the decisive point, and that's why they're champions.
Right. And in terms of what again, there was the player, the game,
and the team.
Okay,
most memorable player for you.
Well, player, it's hard to tell because from those that we were watching, I was very much impressed with Parham once again.
Yes,
even though he lost today, the last crucial game. But yeah, it
to a blunder.
It worked out for them. Yeah, but overall, impressive quality, energy, crazy, right?
Yes.
The game, do we have our favorite game?
Well, I mean, I liked the game between Carlsen and Dubov. That one was exciting.
Yes.
It was exciting. If that game would have ended a draw, I would go with that game. Because, I like when both players are playing good, I want a fair result. But finally, in a time scramble, Magnus managed to get the upper hand. I still like this Jakuboyev-Maxodlu game, which ended in a draw after all this craziness that we have been analyzing.
I mean, definitely Carlsen-Rapport was a memorable game.
Yeah, but it was too one-sided.
But it was
it's
memorable.
Yes.
Memorable. I mean, we didn't say we're not going for best quality game of the tournament. We're just going for memorable.
Yeah, most shocking moment.
That was Carlsen's only loss in this tournament. It basically was the first loss for WR Chess, and it might be the reason why, WR Chess wasn't able to put up more of a fight for first place in this event.
Yes, that's true.
So, yeah, maybe that was it. That was sort of a turning point game in the whole event.
Right, and the team, the memorable team.
Hey, it's Alain! Oh, what a surprise!
Alain, the champions, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Peng Bo, we already had him in the studio. We know, we have talked about him, 12 out of 12, the secret weapon. And now people will have to dig very deep to find someone stronger for next year.
Right, so that's probably...
Well, they've got like a bit more than 1 billion people, Peter, so it should be possible.
Yeah, whole India will be now working on this project, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like other teams will be looking in China, to find the next Peng Bo. So any other memorable teams?
Well, the team from India, the guys who were making their little team meetings next to us here, right, just behind the corner, and they were very friendly, they were preparing, very professional, it looked very professional.
Yes, in general, we also talked about it that every single team is so sympathetic, yeah? Somehow there was this fantastic vibe. We were rooting for every single team because we just felt like all of them deserved. But finally, Alain in this incredibly strong competition went on undefeated. This by itself deserves the title.
Yes, well, I guess we have to close things out. We have reached the end of the 2024 Fide World Rapid Team Championship. We have our winners, Alain team, with players like Dubov, Artemyev, Andrejkin, Katerina Lagno. Who am I missing, guys?
Morzin.
Also, and I feel like we're missing one other one.
Jouginet, no? It was
Jouginet. Yes,
and the lady Wafia.
And Ibrahim, their sixth board. So these guys did an amazing job, not losing a single match. But we are not done here in Astana, because tomorrow we're going to come back to you with the World Blitz Team Championship. And we're going to see, can Elaine make it a double? Or are the other teams hungry for their gold medal? And it's going to start 3.5 hours earlier than our usual time. It's a complicated format, guys, that we're not going to get into right now. But there is like a pool stage where you have to qualify. And then the top 16 teams make it into a knockout stage. So it's going to start in the morning here in Astana at 11 a.m. local time. So we are actually going to be doing commentary for even longer, guys.
Long
7
day.
hours is not enough. So it's going to be almost the entire day tomorrow, but it's going to be so much fun.
But I also have the feeling we have such a team atmosphere that why don't we participate, no? I mean, we have the right attitude. Of course, we have our jobs to do.
Board,
everything is set, for a successful event. But we have to do our job. Lucky for them.
Yeah, well, so guys, don't miss it tomorrow. It's going to be the World Blitz Team Championship.
Gaius Julius Caesar could do 3 things at the same time, and we can do as many as 12. Feels like you're a kid in a candy store, right? As if you're choosing which companies to buy shares in. But thanks to Freedom Broker, it's easy to do. You can trade stocks from the comfort of your home. Speaking of home, you can buy your own house. With the help of Freedom Bank, you can apply for a mortgage online. We want you to feel comfortable and safe. Through Freedom Insurance, you can insure your home and car completely online. You can even purchase life insurance online with us. We do everything to make your life more comfortable. You only need to have a smartphone at hand, which you can buy in Freedom Mobile stores. But a smartphone without a mobile connection and the internet is just a piece of iron with a camera. Therefore, you need to connect Freedom Telecom to be connected and surf the internet. You can fly yourself anywhere in the world, for example, to Japan to learn the history of real samurai by buying tickets in the Aviata. Or, to learn the way of a real samurai, it's enough to go to the cinema using the ticket on. But you can't have a lot of rest. It is necessary to earn money. Having opened a business, you can use Freedom Pay to manage your accounts. And with the help of Ricasa, it is easy to issue fiscal checks. Perhaps while you were watching this ad, you got hungry. No problem. Order products through our online supermarket, arbuz.kz, in just a couple of clicks. Oh, a flat tire? And here, too, we can help. With the Freedom Drive service, you can easily order tires and wheels online. And this is only a part of what we can do. Freedom Digital Ecosystem. One brand, 1,000 capabilities.
Waves are up, this clock is ticking, and how will you respond to e-commerce first move already in place?
Who's gonna swing across the track?